When I die, don't cry.
Phil has an announcement.
Dance, sing, but don't cry when I die. When I die, you say, he made it because I watched him as he walked through the years, hurt back or no back.
So is this what came to your mind when you were awakened?
Before the fame, before the cameras, before Duck Dynasty made him a household name, Phil Robertson was just a boy in the Louisiana backwoods, chasing ducks with nothing but grit, faith, and an old shotgun. Born in 1946 in the humble town of Vivian, Louisiana, Phil Robertson grew up in a world shaped by simplicity and raw survival. No electricity, no running water, just the swamp, the woods, and the will to provide for family. What made Phil a legend wasn't just his iconic beard or quick wit. It was the life he carved out from mud and water, a life rooted in unwavering faith and a fierce love for family. In May 2025, at the age of 79, the world lost more than a television personality. We lost a true American original, a man whose life was built on family, faith, and the fierce pursuit of wild ducks. Among the countless stories Phil shared, one tale stands taller than the rest. A hunting moment so bold, so close to disaster, it captured the essence of a life fully lived. Phil's journey as a hunter wasn't something he stumbled into. It was forged in fire. At just 11 years old, without guidance or supervision, he ventured into the icy Louisiana wilderness alone. It was a cold day with about 35-degree cold, the kind of chill that seeps through your clothes and tests your resolve. His attire was simple, blue jeans and tennis shoes. No camo, no fancy gear, just his father's trusted Browning 16-gauge shotgun, an instrument passed down with silent expectation. Phil walked 2 miles through the dense brush to the edge of Moon Lake, determined to provide food for his family. Alone, quiet, and focused, he scanned the sky. 3 teal ducks and a pinetail were flying low, gliding over the water's surface like shadows. Stealing his nerves, Phil raised the shotgun and fired. 2 ducks fell with 1 shot, a perfect strike, but the real test was yet to come. The birds had landed nearly 40 yards into freezing water. Without a second thought, Phil stripped off his clothes and plunged into the icy lake. He dog paddled through the cold, numb water, retrieving the ducks like a warrior claiming his spoils. Then, soaking wet and shivering, Phil ran 2 miles back home, clutching his prize like a conqueror returning from battle. At the door, his father inspected the birds and said simply, "Pluck 'em. Your mom'll fry 'em up right." This was no ordinary childhood moment. It was a defining rite of passage, a baptism into a lifetime of perseverance.
You know, when you feed on the scriptures, you will be able you train yourself to distinguish good from evil. If your way of life is, but I'll pursue money at all costs. No, I have a love for money. Well, if that's the case, well, what about when you die and they put you in the ground? Is the money going to help you?
Ain't gonna happen.
Years passed. Phil grew into a seasoned outdoorsman, husband, and father, but nothing tested his skills and spirit like the hunt that would come to be remembered as his wildest ever. Deep in the heart of the Louisiana swamps, Phil and a small group of companions set out on a late afternoon expedition. The sky burned orange with the setting sun. The air was thick with anticipation. They had heard reports of an unusual duck migration and decided to follow the trail off the beaten path. Setting up decoys in knee-deep water, they melted into the reeds, blending with the shadows as the swamp whispered around them. Suddenly, the sky exploded with wings, hundreds of ducks descending in a deafening cacophony. Amidst the frenzy, Phil spotted a large canvasback duck, its size and slow flight making it a rare prize. With steady hands and years of experience, he took the shot. The bird plummeted, but as it fell, it clipped a dead cypress tree, snapping, a thick branch loose. That branch came crashing down, directly toward Phil. In a heartbeat, he ducked just in time. The branch smashed into the mud where he'd stood seconds before. The narrow escape was a stark reminder that nature doesn't negotiate, it commands respect. But the story didn't end there. When Phil and his companions reached the fallen, duck, they found something extraordinary. The bird had not one, but 2 leg bands, one from Canada, another from the US Fish and Wildlife Service, a double-banded canvasback, a rare, almost mythical find. This wasn't just a trophy. It was a symbol of the wild interconnectedness of nature, migration, and the hunter's place within it. That hunt became a story told. Around campfires and family dinners, a tale of near tragedy and miraculous reward.
So now I've been at this for 42. Heathen for 28, a son of God for the last 42. Trust me when I tell you, this last 42 has been way better than the first 28. The rarest of commodities has come my way. You say, what is it, Phil? What's the rarest of commodities? Peace of mind. Finally got it. You're never going to have peace of mind without Jesus Christ. Ever. It ain't gonna happen. Fits of rage, sexual immorality, hatred, discord, factions, envy, jealousy. You know the list of sins. I gave you the list, the fruit of the Spirit. Now you're hearing the list of sins. You want to keep that up thinking, boy, life will turn one of these days. I don't need no God, no Bible. Tell me about it.
Phil Robertson was never content with just hunting. He wanted to improve the very tools hunters used. Frustrated by poor quality duck calls in the early 1970s, Phil began crafting his own by hand. His calls sounded so real, so natural, that ducks responded from miles away. From a small workshop in Louisiana, Phil founded Duck Commander, a company built on authenticity, craftsmanship, and love for the outdoors. His calls revolutionized the hunting world. But it wasn't just about business, it was about legacy. In 2012, Duck Dynasty aired, pulling back the curtain on the Robertsons' life. A mix of faith, family, business, and relentless duck hunting. The show was a smash hit, running for 11 seasons and capturing the hearts of millions. Money can buy you a good dog, but only love makes it wag its tail. Phil Robertson. Despite the fame and fortune, Phil stayed true to the swamp. He preached the gospel, lived simply, and held fast to his values. He taught his children to work hard, pray first, respect nature, live humbly, and always speak the truth.
We have humanism and atheism and agnosticism and, postmodernism and materialism. Ism. That's all I heard in college. This ism, that ism, this ism, that ism. You know what they're all about? They're all trying to get around this story right here. And none of them have succeeded. Turn to God. Believe the gospel. Obey it. Love one another deeply from the heart. For you've been born again. I told you the first birth gets you here. The second birth, being born of God, of water and the Spirit, will get you out of here. One thing's for sure, you're not getting out of here alive. You have no chance if you keep getting high, getting drunk, and walling around and filth coming out of your mouth. You'll probably die an early death.
At the core of Phil Robertson's story is a simple but powerful philosophy: faith. Phil's life was deeply rooted in Christianity. His faith guided his actions, gave him strength, and provided a moral compass throughout his life. Family. The Robertsons were a tight-knit clan. Phil's dedication to his wife, children, and grandchildren was unwavering. Family was everything. Ducks. Hunting wasn't just a hobby, it was a way of life, a connection to nature, and a tradition passed down through generations. Phil often said, if you want to bless others, you've got to be willing to go into the woods alone. Sometimes. He lived by this, embracing solitude in the wild to find strength and purpose.
Just keep life simple. Do what's right. God has given us this great planet to live on. We go around saying we got to save the planet, save the planet. Hebrews chapter 1 says he's going to do away with this. And we're going to be looking at another heaven and another earth, the home of righteousness. Peter said that, 2 Peter chapter 3, for you Bible buffs. But I keep life simple. I stay in the woods as much as I can, back and forth. We eat well. We love God and we love our neighbor. For the life of me, I cannot believe more people would not get on board with that.
Bill Robertson's influence stretches far beyond his duck calls or reality TV fame. He authored books, shared his stories and lessons, and inspired millions to value faith, family, and the outdoors. His voice was raspy, his laugh infectious, and his wisdom timeless. Even after his passing in May 2025, his spirit lives on through his family, his company, and the countless hunters and fans he inspired. The reboot of Duck Dynasty, Duck Dynasty: The Revival, launched just weeks after his death, a testament to the enduring power of his legacy. Phil Robertson's wildest duck hunting story isn't just about ducks or danger. It's about a man who embraced life's hardships with grit, faith, and love. From a barefoot boy swimming in icy lakes to a man who built an empire from scratch, Phil's journey reminds us life isn't about comfort, it's about courage. It's about faith, it's about family, and yes, it's about ducks. If you want to carry the torch and keep the stories alive, hit that like button and subscribe. And remember, a good day for ducks is a good day indeed.